ANOMALY by Kylee Conrad. Read by Steve Parker. "Play it again," said Agent 5. Agent Chu obliged his new partner, pressing a tab downward on the small cassette player in front of him. The two men leaned in and listened intently as the crackly, distorted recording was heard once more. "Sacramento Tower, Eagle Air 1010 Bravo, reporting 12 miles northwest at level 2500, inbound for landing." "Good evening, Eagle 1010 Bravo. Sacramento Tower responding. Enter north flow, heading 181, then descend to runway 35 left." "Roger, entering north flow on heading 181 and descending to runway 35 left. Eagle 1010 Bravo." Chu paused the tape, saying, "Engines sound normal?" "And so do the captain and the controller," added Fife. "The flight log says there were no other flights scheduled in or out for 90 minutes surrounding their would-be arrival, which eliminates the possibility of wake turbulence." Chu released the pause button and the playback resumed. "Sacramento, Eagle 1010 Bravo requesting any atmospheric reports, ground strikes." "Eagle 1010, are you reporting lightning at your current position?" "Sacramento, no, I don't know. We've never seen this here before." The captain's ramblings were cut off by a loud metallic honk, followed by the first officer shouting, "What the hell is that? Eagle 1010! Sacramento to Eagle Air 1010 Bravo, please report. Eagle 1010! Chu stopped the tape and leaned back in his folding chair. "The controller attempts contact for another 6 minutes before declaring Eagle 1010 Bravo missing from radar," said Fife, reading from the open file in his hands. "Lightning? In Sacramento?" asked Chu. "The weather report says it was clear, 68 degrees with visibility of 9 miles, not so much as a gust of wind," replied Fife, flipping through the papers. "And that didn't sound like a lightning strike to me." "Collision?" asked Chu. "Well, there are two problems with that idea. First, the crew were very experienced and familiar with the terrain. Coming into land at night dozens of times, and it's well lit at this guide slope. It's suburban Sacramento," Fife trailed off. "And the other problem?" coaxed Chu. "The other obvious problem is we can't find the plane," exclaimed Fife. "Every available agency in the entire state scoured 100 square miles, as well as sonar teams 20 miles out into the Pacific. Not one speck of Eagle 1010 Bravo has been recovered." "Planes don't just get zapped out of existence," remarked Chu. The two men locked eyes, considering the impossibility in tandem, but were interrupted by the door of the small workroom bursting open, startling them both. Todd, the intern, looked wide-eyed and frantic, jumped into the room and blurted, "They found the first officer of Eagle Air, and he's alive!" "He's alive? My God, where's the airplane?" Fife asked, stunned. "No plane, just the pilot. A trucker found him wandering near Mud Lake on Route 95, said Todd. "Nevada?" Fife asked in disbelief. "Seriously?" asked Chu, also utterly confused. "The director wants you guys there, like, now," urged Todd. Agent Chu watched silently as his partner spoke with the trauma-ridden pilot at his bedside from the opposite side of a large observation window. He couldn't hear their conversation, but he didn't need to. Fife emerged from the hospital room shaking his head, seemingly defeated. "He's in rough shape. The doctors estimate he was out there for at least 3 days, no food or water, no shoes, and suffering from what looks like radiation burns, with no memories," he said. "No memory of the plane going down?" asked Chu. "No memory of anything. He said the last thing he can recall is waking up in the desert and walking for days until he was picked up by the truck driver passing through. He has no memory of being a pilot, or how to fly a plane, or how he arrived over 500 miles away from where he was supposed to be. He doesn't even recognize his own name. The only reason he was identified was the Eagle Air insignia on his shirt pin," replied Fife with a sigh. A nurse walked out of the room holding a plastic bag containing the pilot's tattered shirt and pants, the totality of his personal effects, and handed it to Fife along with the pilot's medical charts. He thanked the woman while she clipped a new set of medical papers to the designated spot and erased the pilot's name from a small whiteboard beside the doorway, replacing it with the name John Doe. She nodded to Fife in acknowledgement, then trotted down a hallway. Chu glanced at the new name, then to his partner, but said nothing. Fife obscured the plastic bag by tucking it into one side of his sports coat, and the agents promptly left the hospital. "This is probably far enough," said Chu, bringing their rented SUV to a slow park. They somberly surveyed the desolate desert in the beam of the headlights a moment before stepping out. They left the car running as they retrieved several items from the rear and went about their task a few yards away. They successfully started a small fire at the bottom of a plain metal drum they'd brought with them to the middle of nowhere. Fife carefully tossed the pilot's medical file into the flames, followed by his clothing taken from the hospital. He liberated a cigarette from his pocket and struck a match from his matchbook, using it to light his strike before tossing the match and book into the drum. "What are we going to do about the ATC recording?" asked Chu. "We're going to release it to the public and let the masses do what they do best," Fife calmly explained. "Soon enough, any information will be so polluted with conjecture and conspiracy, no one will be able to decipher the truth about Eagle Air 1010 Bravo." "And what is the truth?" Chu asked with a hard swallow, gazing up at the vastly dark sky. "Exactly," answered Fife as he flicked his cigarette into the fiery drum. "Exactly."